'cause I am your child, and that's all that matters. Oh, there is no disappointment in your eyes. There is no shame, there is only pride. I am loved, Father, I'm loved.
Okay, so many of us who listened in last week will know this fine gentleman. I have Mr. Hammond in the house. Mr. Hammond, how are you doing?
I'm copacetically doing well.
Thank you very much. That's right. That's right. That's right. You're welcome to this evening's discussion, and I hope that you're ready to give us your thoughts on such a wonderful and popular topic.
Well, God will see us through.
Hey. And then what done school bank cry. They are going to say the Egyptians you see today, you see them no more.
You shall see them no more.
Yo, what do you say? And I have a beautiful lady also in the house. Angela.
Yes.
Tonight is your first time here. How are you doing?
I'm great. And how are you also doing?
I'm good. I'm copacetically excited about Social Thursday.
Okay.
You're most welcome
Thank you.
to Voice of Victory Radio. And we are glad to have you. Any expectations for tonight?
I hope tonight will be great, and at the end we'll be able to discuss this topic at length, and we'll all learn something from it tonight.
Righty. Thank you very much, Angie. All right. I have my sister, Lydia, in the house. Hello, Lydia.
Hi, Lennon.
How are you?
I'm great.
You're great, huh? Last week, I think you sent a message in or something. Right.
Yeah, thank you.
So what are your expectations also?
Honestly, this topic is scary,
Okay.
but I'm hoping to learn a lot.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to a revelation I haven't encountered before.
Oh, wow. Hey, this Beckett here, a Vigo drop, by all means. I just saw an angel enter into the room. Yeah, take it time done in the prayer meeting. Hallelujah. And I see Lydia here with her notebook and her pen. I'm sure very soon you guys will see it. And Charlie, she came loaded. So I really want to hear Lydia tonight speak.
There's no shame, there is only pride. Oh, I am loved, Father, I'm loved by you. And there is no distance in your embrace. Over and over again you say, I am loved, Father, I'm loved by you. Oh, I am loved, Father, I'm loved by you. I am loved, Father, I'm loved by you. Yeah, I'm loved by you.
Okay. So yeah, our theme for this evening, as I said early on, is can I say I love you without really meaning it? As we are doing the discussion, you can send in your views, your comments, your questions on +233 209 446683. What's up? +233 209 446683. And in due time also we'll allow for phone ins, and so you can call 0541 619323. 0541 619323.
Sing, I've come to praise you for your goodness and your kindness.
Inti odonekra na chestre ne saying, what is love? Ni, to you, what is love?
Well, love generally is broad. But then if you want to look at it from a particular angle, I would say looking at it from an angle where the Greeks define love in 8 different ways.
Oh, sir.
Yes.
That's a lot.
First of all, they have the storge love. That is the first one. They have the filial kind of love,
Okay.
and then they have the eros kind of love.
Okay.
Then we have the agape. Then we have the ludu, the pragma.
Okay.
Then we have the mania.
Hey.
That you pick them one after the other.
Okay.
And then we looking at agape love.
Yeah.
Agape love happens to be an unconditional love,
Okay.
where if I'm asked to state an unconditional love, I would say John 3:16.
Yeah.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believed in him should not die but have everlasting life.
True that.
Yes. So that is the kind of love we talk about when we say agape love.
Okay.
And then we have the storge kind of love, which is basically based on affection,
Okay.
and affection you have for somebody. Then we have the filial, which is more of friendship,
Okay.
just friendship. People build friendship,
Yeah.
and then it grows.
Yeah.
Lately, you hear people saying friends that become family.
Yeah.
These are the kind of friendship we talk when we talk about the filial. Then we have the eros,
Okay.
which this kind of love is
Erotic
basically
love.
based on sexual feelings, erotic kind of.
Yeah.
So then we have the ludu.
Ludo.
Yes, LUD, which happens to be more of the flirtatious kind of love.
Okay.
Those are playful,
Okay.
casual,
Okay.
uncommitted.
Okay.
These people are not committed to.
Each
But
other.
then it's basically their definition for love.
Okay.
Then we have the pragma.
Okay.
Those people are highly committed. They are long-standing people. Those are the kind of people that go into relationship and they will tell you when they're out, they end up giving up everything
Okay.
because they are highly committed to whatever they are into. Then we have the philatio.
Okay.
These people are basically self-love.
Okay.
They don't think about anybody
But themselves.
but themselves.
Okay.
Then we have the mania. Those people are obsessive, possessive, addictive. They're
Okay.
dependent. So though you find people in love and then it happens like, I don't want to see you here. I don't want to see you walking with these people.
Okay.
Those people are, I would say, obsessive.
Okay.
They tend to proclaim, as in, they build everything around you. I would say they are the jealous
The very
type.
jealous type.
The very jealous type. So basically, these are few ways the Greeks
Okay.
would define love.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But then personally, I would define love as selfless.
Selfless.
Yes.
Okay. So to Mr. Hammond, love simply is selfless. Okay. Thank you very much. He took us to Greece and now he has brought us back to Adenta Fafraha. So yes, Angie, what is love to you?
Mr. Hammond has really delved into love. Like, he has taken me somewhere else. So, into Yama, I'm confused. But for me, when you say love,
Uh-huh.
love is just this complex feeling.
Okay.
Because when you mention love, you have bags of emotions.
Okay.
You care about someone. You just want the person to be okay. There's caring in there. There's protectiveness in there. So when you talk about love, it's just a bag full of so many emotions mixed together. Okay. But the motive is for the person to be good. Just as you want to feel okay, you also want the person to feel okay. So love is loving someone. Love is like what you want for yourself. You want the same thing for someone else.
All right. All right. So love is a bag of emotions, complex feelings all over the place. Lydia, what is love?
after these 8 definitions of love, I'm really wondering what more there is to be said. But for me, I think that love is a sense of affection, not just in the emotion, but it really has to do with your thoughts and your decisions, which will be reflected in your actions. The Bible said that if you even give to the poor and you even boast about it, but you don't have love, then really what could we call that? When it comes to the emotions, yes, it's complicated. Even with the decisions, it's very complicated because really someone or something may look undeserving, yet you may have to show them. Maybe you don't want to, but you have to.
Okay.
I think all that defines love.
I see. Thank you very much. And so, quickly, I ask, Mr. Hammond, Angela, Lydia, if I say I would do, it's true.
Till that day I'm late, but till my time down here is done, there is not an option. No sir, my rewards in heaven.
You're listening to Voice of Victory Radio.
No more trials on this earth. I'm gonna live forever with the man from Galilee. Hey, can't stop, it's not over. Still some work to be done. All
I think that really, sometimes when you hear these words, a number of things, who is saying them in the first place?
Okay.
Who have they been to me?
Okay.
Understand what really they mean by I love you. Eat.
Okay.
So I think I respond. I think the brothers understand what I'm saying. Back. I don't think that it's a question. When someone says that they love you, I think that they really want to tell you that they are putting your welfare above theirs. And so if there's anything that you do, anything that you decide to do, you should know that they've got your back.
Okay.
Don't do it thinking that you're alone. Think of them too. And think of the fact that
Says that I love you is not a question. So she wonders why we still expect a response. Maybe we don't expect a response verbally, but we expect it in action. So Angie, if I say I love you, or when he said what did it mean to you?
So what Lydia is saying, when he said he loves me, I don't know whether it was exclamation mark or question mark. You know, I love you is not just anything you have to just say just like that. Okay. Sometimes your action should actually show it. There are some people who will actually be nice to you, like you're always on their mind, or whatever they do, they place you first. So what they do, so the people or that person. Okay. So I love you should just show from your actions than I love you to me a day. That kind of thing.
Yeah. So from Angie, if we say I love you, we should be able to show it so that whoever we are saying it to will know that indeed we love them. So yes, you can send us your comments, you can send us your questions or any suggestion on our Facebook page, Voice of Victory. When you told that sister, I love you, what did you mean?
Well, before I get to you,
Okay.
You saying I love you, maybe I am a very different person who is able to see from an angle, because if I'm moving with you for some time, I tend to study you. And like Angie said, most of the times you should be able to prove the word I love you or the statement I love you much through your actions than from words.
Okay.
So you would ask yourself, these are some of the questions probably comes up with me.
Okay.
If you are to say I love you, what on what condition, on what grounds are you saying I love you? First of all, is it that we've been together for some time and then you feel that you are being pressured? If you don't say it, I'll move forward.
Yeah.
Or you are just trying to secure yourself, knowing very well that you, the person in question, is confused about what you want to be.
Okay.
So telling that girl, telling that lady, I love you, will let her stay long enough for you to figure out yourself as to whether you want to be with her or you want to move away. So normally, I think people say, I love you, based on their perception personally.
Okay.
So what it means to the person also has to do with affection.
Okay.
Does the person feel same?
Okay.
If I feel same, it will mean a lot to me.
Okay.
If I don't feel same, or I feel maybe you're trying to waste my time, it wouldn't mean anything to me. So you tell me I love you, I'll tell you Jesus loves you more.
Okay.
You get the whole thing. But
Yeah.
Basically, should both parties feel same, you telling someone I love you comes from and then you are ready to make that person emotionally, spiritually, physically happy. So all these things come into play.
Okay.
So when you tell someone I love you, it's got a lot involved.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Hammond. So yes, we've all shared what we think I love you means. Okay. The value of a thing. Love is a response to understanding the value of a thing. Therefore, love is a decision and it's an action. It's a decision and it's an action. What do we think about this? Lydia?
I think that he's absolutely right. If I have a phone, and I've always wanted that particular phone, when I finally receive it, I'm so excited about it. And then I tell whoever got me the phone, I love it. I exclaim I love it because this is something, one, I've always wanted.
Yeah.
It has certain features, and so that's why I've admired it and desired it. I've seen those features and I think that they would add value to my life. And so when I have this phone, I sort of have everything. I could take all the pictures, I could do my assignments, I could send emails, etc. At the time I received the phone, I may not have really used it. I may not have even discovered that it doesn't have enough space. But just because it's something I've always wanted, and because it's something that I've known, this is how much it is worth, I am able to exclaim that I love the phone.
Okay.
In the same regard, when we look at human beings, whether it's love being expressed to another person or love being expressed to a thing or the other, usually the depth of a person's actions towards the other person is dependent on how they see the other.
Okay.
If I see Lennon to be an amazing person, you have exceptional qualities.
Hallelujah.
I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, oh my God, such a person can raise my children.
Yes.
Or I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, if I leave my business in your hands, I will be a billionaire. I've seen how much you are worth.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to tell you that I love you.
Okay.
At the time I'm telling you that I love you, I'm telling it to you.
Yeah.
And so I totally agree with Dr. Miles Monroe.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Sister Lydia. She says she agrees with Miles Monroe's assertion that love is a response to understanding the value of a thing. And he continues to say the more the value, the more you pay. The measure of love is how much you want to give up for it. The measure of love is how much you want to give up for it. Angie, what do you think about this?
So you see, I just picked up something. The more the value, the more you pay. You know, even in our practical way here, ladies will pay or something like that, and we have this phrase you say something that is expensive, it doesn't come cheap like
Exactly.
that. So it's the same way. If something is very, very, very valuable, you spend a lot to get it.
Okay.
You're going to buy a diamond ring and then normal stainless steel.
Okay.
Definitely diamond will really cost more than that of stainless steel.
That's right.
So I believe love is also a decision,
Yeah.
and then it's also a choice.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people who come into our life, and people might actually have maybe the same attributes or qualities or something, but then there's going to be that particular thing about someone.
Okay.
That's where the choice comes in.
Okay.
And then you see that, okay, that's what I want to settle on. Like that, okay, I'm going to say I love this person, or I'm going to stay with this person. That will also guide you throughout that journey. So I definitely agree with him.
All right. Thank you very much. Angie also agrees with Miles Monroe that indeed, if you really love something, you'd give up a lot of things for it. Sister Ophelia just joined us in the studios. So shortly, we'll say hi to Sister Ophelia and welcome Sister Ophelia to the studios of Voice of Victory Radio. Good evening to you. So how are you doing this evening?
I'm fine, thank you.
Wow, that's
Thank
great
you
to know.
for inviting me.
Great. You're welcome. Yes. So, Sister Ophelia, before you came in, we were discussing what is love. Everyone gave their thoughts on what love is to them. And if someone should say, I love you, or if you should tell someone you love them, what do you mean by that? So, quickly, we want to take your thoughts on that.
All right, thank you very much. Love is a 4-letter word, but it's a big word.
That's right.
It's very big.
Yeah. Someone said it's complicated.
It is complicated because it's a mixture of a lot of things.
Okay.
But we being Christians, if you are starting from the Bible talks about love as care, love is patient, love is peaceful, love is tolerant, love is patient. So, as I said, it's a small but a big word.
Indeed.
So when we talk about love, I remember in a class, a child said he loves the classmate.
Okay.
And they were all like, hey! You see?
Yeah.
Because we have different contexts.
Yeah.
Love, in my own way, I will put it in a short form that love is commitment.
Love is commitment.
That's how.
Wow. Love is commitment. This evening we are learning a lot of things. Love is complicated, said by one. Love is selfless, said by another. Love is complex feelings, another also said. And now love is commitment. If you just joined us, you are listening to Voice of Victory Radio, and the agenda is Social Thursday. And this evening we are discussing, can I say I love you without meaning it? Can I say I love you without meaning it? And in the studios, I have beautiful ladies and fine gentlemen in the house, and they are each sharing their thoughts on the topic at hand.
And I know that it came from above, and I let it show, and I let it go. Take it everywhere I go. Day by day, I'm gonna keep the world grows cold, your love for me will never go. It will never part. No. Sometimes I feel so inspired, and other times I just wanna give up. That's when I feel your presence, giving me confidence and trust. And I know that it came from above. And I let it show, and I let it go. Take it everywhere I go. Day by day, keep your spirit in my heart. I'm gonna keep your spirit in my heart. And yeah. Love for me will never go. It will never
You're listening to Voice of Victory Radio.
Yes, we are on a social Thursday. We are discussing love. 4-letter word, they say, but it's full of many issues. Many issues. I dare say it is one of the most misinterpreted or not well understood word in the entire world. And so I ask, why do you think people tend to lie about their feelings? Or why do you think a lot of people will go like, well, he or she said they love me or they are in love with me, and yet I did not see or did not feel or experience that love that they kept proclaiming or they kept telling me. So Angie, why do you think people tend to lie about their feelings?
You see, Lennon, in this part of our world, I don't know, certain things have become automatic. Example, you see me, I'm really sick, and you ask me, Angie, you want to say, oh, me hoye. Meanwhile, I'm really sick. But since primary, we've been taught, say, anytime they ask you how you doing, you go like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And you,
Yeah.
it's the same way. Those things indirectly feed into our attitude and behaviors and characters. So people actually sometimes lie, but sometimes I look at the motive behind it. There are situations where you have to actually say it, even though it's not like I'm justifying it, just to make the other person feel okay.
Okay.
So you have to look at the situation in which you find yourself. So maybe somebody is depressed, the person is so down, the person just wants to hear some words to make the person feel okay.
Okay.
So at that moment or at that point in time, are you going to go blandly and say, okay, or then things? You just have to say something to comfort the person. So even though it's not like I'm justifying the fact that you have to lie about your feelings sometimes, but sometimes circumstances could trigger it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Angie. So sometimes circumstances may cause us to say, I love you. But from the text I read at the beginning, Romans 13:8, it says, no one anything except to love each other. And so, yes, Christ says I should owe you nothing but love. God says I should owe you nothing but love. So why would I say I love you and you still doubt it? Sister Ophelia, why do people tend to lie about their feelings?
All right, thank you. First of all, human beings lack we are inadequate when it comes to sincerity. Just this afternoon, I think God gave me a message. I was talking to somebody and he gave me a story that a friend was telling him.
Okay.
That this lady has been with a guy. They have 4 children.
Yeah.
But he confided in him that he does not really love the man
Wow.
that he's staying with. They have 4 children.
4 children.
Yes.
Hey.
And she said she does not love the guy.
Wow.
Why is he staying with him?
Mm-hmm.
Because of comfort, opportunity. Because he said if he gets a room or a house that he will be comfortable,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been staying with that guy. So for opportunity, for comfort, and for other things that people sometimes cannot even explain,
Yeah.
they lie. they pretend they love, but in reality, they don't love.
Wow. Because of what people can benefit, because of comfort, because of what they can gain, a lot of people tend to lie about their feelings. Lydia, what do you also think?
First of all, I think that based on our previous submissions, at times our acts of kindness, our decisions towards people, with the knowledge of the value they have, may not really be out of love. I could buy a purse for you and tell you that I love you, but then I really don't mean it like you are saying.
Yeah.
At times people just say it because they really can't find anything to say. The words have become so common, so common. It's like saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Very common. For some people, it's a nice thing to say when you are signing off after a conversation. Good night, I love you too, bye, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
When parents are saying good night to their children, they say they love them. They are saying they love them because, well, they produce them. So it doesn't really come across as what they want to say. I think that at times people utter the words and don't mean it because before they utter them, they didn't even understand them.
Wow.
Failure to understand. And at times, people think that in saying these words, this is what they mean. But really, at the end of the day, after assessing the situation, after looking at the person, they realize, no, this is not what I mean. Or this is not what I meant to say. And so then I'd really have to go back to say, okay, no, I can't do this anymore. Like in the story Auntie Ophelia shared, this person is still staying there because, well, she wants comfort.
Yeah.
I'm sure at the beginning she was thinking, okay, maybe if this is an arranged marriage, eventually I will love the person. You see, whatever you do, you'd like something about someone.
Yeah.
Maybe when the children came in, this person was an amazing father. I mean, you'd see how he's working hard, and you've probably not seen him work hard like that before. At the time, you may not confess that you love the person, but then it's making you stick with the person. Your decision to stick with the person holds for a while. But after a while, the children are grown up, then you're really wondering, what am I still doing here? I mean, nothing is really keeping me. And so that's when you come to realize that, okay, I said it, but I didn't mean it. At times, someone would even have to tell you, you said it, but you didn't mean it. You feel bad about it, but then you've already said,
I see. Okay. So even the dictionary, well, because Lydia said a lot of people say I love you without understanding it. So when you look in the dictionary, Merriam-Webster, it defines love as a feeling of understanding that someone is important and should be treated in appropriate ways. A feeling of understanding that someone is important and should be treated in appropriate ways. Do we think that people actually do this? It is quite funny that you look around and many of us don't even show this. Well, now I want to change a bit from relationship to our normal Christian life, our normal Christian living. We realize from how God loves us. God demonstrated his love for us in that while we're still sinners, he came to die for us. So Christ came, he died on the cross, sacrificed himself for us. He did everything for us. He offered his beloved son to save us. Jesus died, paid the price, shed his blood, rose again, and provided us with the grace that we need. He even waited for us. And he wants everyone to receive that gift of salvation. So he continually pursues you and I. And so Jesus will say that what? You must love one another the way I love you. Do you think that in our societies, in our homes, in our churches, in our communities, in our nation, this is the case? Ghana is supposedly almost 70% Christians, or the statistics has dropped or increased. So let's use 60%, supposedly, about 60% Christians, do we think that there's love in our society? Sister Ophelia, help us with that.
Thank you very much, sir. I was laughing when you said that we are 70% Christian. Because it's one point that I'm always making. That we can say that we are 90% church goers. But being Christians is questionable.
Yes.
Again, today when I was coming, you know, these guys at Opebia, they come to stand by your car, they clean and all that. So a guy cleaned the car and he asked the driver to give him money and he didn't give him. So it was like, so we had an experience that our school, we went to donate to Christ the King, the homeless and the
Okay.
so we had the opportunity. I personally interacted with some of them,
Yeah.
and some of them said, "Grandma, smash mommy ofedo." It's in a way. Some of them said, "My father is always shouting at me," and all this. So you could see that they don't have. A few of them had tangible reasons that they they don't have parents and they left home. So I was asking myself, where is the family?
Yeah.
And where is the love?
Yeah.
The meaning of love, as my sister said earlier on, has been taken for granted, or maybe we don't understand the meaning of love.
Maybe.
Yes. So we don't say love. You can go to a church for some months, and you may not even get somebody to greet you. Thank God, Victory Presby, we have a coin that they will meet you and all that. But there are places that you just close from church and you go. And if God helps you and you are in trouble, you need money, you need something, even advice, counseling. Who will talk to you in the church? Because maybe you are nobody like me here. The church, I would say, it's not vanished though. Maybe the love in the church is sleeping and we need to wake it up. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Sister Ophelia. So we are getting a lot of messages. Please keep your messages coming in. You can WhatsApp us on 0209 446683. 0209 446683. Or you can also WhatsApp on 0541 619323. 0541 619323.
Did this so that this place would be nice.
Yes.
So that when someone walks in here, the person says, "Wow, God, you are good." And so I think that there's love in our society, just that the wicked.
Where we see there's no love, there's love. We just need to work out
harder.
We just need to work harder. Thank you very much, Sister Lydia. Okay.
Testimony. Two girls, they were twins. Knocked by a car. Their mother was selling corn. And the car just bumped into them and they were standing there taking pictures.
Oh God.
So I had to pick them. We went to Pantahot and the other one died the next day. So we have come to a point that we put love aside. As I said, she's beautifully dressed on the bed, but is sleeping, and we need to wake it.
Love is in the society, but love is resting and sleeping on the bed, and you and I be trained to become a minister of the gospel. And then when he went for the interview, one of the ministers was to about 20 years. His business is not registered and he has not been paying any tax. He did not even have tin. And so the senior minister who was interviewing him told him that, you know what, go and get a tin, register your business, start paying taxes. Then you come back, then I'll consider you for the position. So yes, we have a few messages. There's a message from Ama Santoine at Denta. She says, people love for many reasons. Example, some people fall in love with others just because they see them exhibit a certain strength, which is their weakness. Some people love others based on physical attraction. Others fall in love with the minds of people, etc. But at the end of the day, I believe love goes beyond feelings. Every day we need to work at love with our actions and inactions. It's a conscious commitment backed with evidence, expressively or not. People can genuinely value they've placed on you in their minds. The ultimate expression of love is exactly what Christ did for us, and that's the selfless love. Love is not devoid of anger, pain, annoyance. It's not all rosy, but once you understand from the perspective of selflessness, but I still want to be with him, what could this mean? And there was this messages I saw on social media a few days ago. So of this young lady through SS and then university, and then they've been together for some time, and now the man is ready to what? Marry her. And then she says that, well, I am ready to marry you because you have done a lot of things, but se medo padie, mendo. So yes, like Kate, what could this mean? Lydia, would you want to help us with that?
Before I answer Kate's question or attempt to answer, what you shared about what you saw on social media.
Yeah.
If you were the guy, would you accept to marry the lady even though you think that ultimately people would have to learn that everybody gets to make a choice.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to take a decision. Yes, we live with the pain of not getting what we want, but at the end of the day, we should take solitude in the fact that we did our best for someone. And they may not have gotten to where they got to. Let me see, who can I use here? So let's say Nee is the gentleman. I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, wow, Obama not a good watch. And maybe the way he has buttoned his Lacoste all the way to the top. See gentleman.
Yeah.
Fine
Christian
gentleman.
papa.
Exactly.
That's right.
Wash his sneakers. He doesn't repeat the sneakers.
That's it. Or collection with you.
But then, after interacting with Nee for a while, yes, those things are still nice. But then, for some reason, the attention goes off them. I think it doesn't even happen consciously. You begin to pay attention to the things he's telling you.
Victory Radio.
You begin to pay attention to the things he's doing for you. You begin to pay attention to
Voice of
that should be minute a brand to fear. Send the before me to me and now your mind is. I think that the point that Kate has gotten to, she really needs to be able to determine what does she want.
Okay.
Are her values in line with the gentleman's values? Where does he want to go? Does she want to go the same length? If she's able to take that decision, I think that along the way, when things work out, the butterflies will jump in again. And at times, you really have to work hard to put the butterflies back in. I don't think that sometimes it comes on its own. You have to work hard. You have to put in some effort. You have to push a little to see something you haven't seen before. And so, Kate, you'll be fine.
Wow. Kate, you... Okay.
You know, when you make soup at first,
Yeah.
you put in all the ingredients, so you are excited about tasting it, and when it's freshly made, it's nice and hot, it's boiling. So the feeling, even if there's too much salt in it, you won't even taste it to be in the fridge, or you put it aside.
You're listening to Voice
The
of
next
Victory
time when you
Radio.
want to use the soup, what do? You reheat it. So, Kate, that is how it is. The love, as I said, is there. It's not gone.
Listening to Voice
What would you
of
want to tell
Victory
Kate?
Radio.
Okay, so Kate, I think we've all agreed that it's normal. It's perfectly normal. You see, we all spoke about this early on, that love is a decision and it's a choice. So this decision you've taken, like you told somebody I love you, it doesn't mean that all through is going to be constant like that. Even there's law of diminishing returns. So definitely it will come down, but you have to sustain it.
Okay.
And in sustaining it, you have to look at the value of the person. Okay, suddenly it won't be like the way it is when you just entered into it. Because as Lydia said, immediately you see a gentleman for the first time, the way he's talking, his mannerism, and then now you become closer to him and you go on a date with him, and now the way he's chewing the food, you're like,
You're listening to
when I saw
Voice
you
of
walking, I didn't
Victory.
anticipate to say you, because he's chewing so loudly, and maybe he's watching football and he's kicking his legs, and you're like, what is this? So definitely, the first time you meet someone or when the last start growing, there are certain things you might not notice.
Okay.
But as time goes on, you see it, and
Yeah.
it will kind of soften certain things and go like, there are some flaws here. But no one is perfect. Some things will come for you. Because sometimes some people say,
Little.
Yeah.
Then we'll take a short comment from Mr. Hammond.
Okay, to add a little to what my sisters have said,
You're
Yes.
listening to Voice
Kate,
of Victory Radio.
you have something that you admire about the person you are living with. And one thing I always tell couples when I'm talking to them is always focus on the good. What drove you closer? The only time that you have to be concerned is when you don't see that.
Yes.
So, Kate, maybe there's something, because I know a lady who went to the guy's house to stand in the window to peep to see whether the type of television that the guy is having in the room. So in that case, you went to marry television.
Yes.
So if there's a problem with the television, then you will have a problem. So Kate, apart from all that we have said, in addition to that, focus on the good things that you saw in the person that drove you closer to him.
Kate, focus on the good things that drew
You're
you
listening
to
Voice of Victory
that
Radio.
fine gentleman. Mr. Hammond, last one on this.
To Kate, I would tell you one experience and other experiences from friends. Before you move forward in a relationship, in order for it to sustain, the first thing I believe should be done is both of you should have good friendship. There should be something called friendship. So that in the future, when you are together and you don't see yourself in it again, if the feeling is not like before, you only fall on that friendship to revive the current situation. Forget about how you feel now. Focus on what drove you crazy back then. Start looking for those things. Put yourself back together. Assume that it's something you start, everything will fall in place. So you don't have to be worried. You are just safe. You are
Okay.
only troubled within.
Okay.
But then feel free and things will fall in place.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hammond. And so if you're listening to us, this is Voice of Victory Radio, and the agenda is Social Thursday, and we are discussing, can I say I love you without meaning it? And I have some wonderful guest discussion, and we're about to give our concluding remarks. But before we do that, I want to acknowledge all who have sent in messages. He says, oh, I doubt I would want to marry a lady who is staying with me because she's grateful. I think Lydia is referring to. Thank you so much, Susie Jane Fee, for doing the listening. Thank you, Osaberima Samuel. Thank you all so much for commenting and for doing the listening and the watching. God richly bless you. So we'll take our concluding remarks. Lydia, what would you want to tell us before we get out of here?
I think that every day we ought to learn and unlearn in order to love like the way God has instructed us to love. I think that every day would have to subject our decisions, our feelings towards people, etc., to Him and ask Him to show the way.
Voice of Victory
Ultimately, I
Radio.
think that you just have to empty yourself and ask that God makes you become like Christ. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we should become like Christ and love as Christ did. Sister Ophelia, concluding remarks.
All right. So, in conclusion, what I would like to say is, for God so loved the world
Jesus.
that he gave.
That's right.
So, as we have said earlier on, love is commitment. Love is everything, including putting yourself before the other person. Because God loved the world that he gave. So you have to give something
Son.
when you want to love and you want to be loved. Thank
All right.
you.
You have to give something when you want to love and you want to be loved. Angie, concluding remarks.
I would want to tackle Ghana as a whole,
Yes.
because we rightly said that Ghana is a.
Voice of
We should stop
Victory
being
Radio.
self-centered. We should have that act of service. We should stop that social media love, because it's really killing our country. And if we as Christians are going,
Like this time, I think I'm siding with Angie on this. If we want to, we're able to start showing love from the churches. I think it will get to a point where you will not even ask; it would come naturally. It would come, and once we shouldn't wait for a time where you have an excess
Okay.
before you show love.
Okay.
The little that you have, you can put a smile on someone's face. For me, I believe that once I make you smile and I get home, I feel so happy because at least I touched a life or I made someone happy.
Yeah.
So that would be that.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Hammond. 8. 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. I'm reading the Amplified Version. Love endures long and is patient. It takes no account of the evil done to it, that is, it pays no attention to a suffered wrong. Love does not rejoice at injustice and unrighteousness, but rejoice when right and truth prevail. Love bears up under anything and everything that comes, is ever ready to believe the best of every person. Its hopes are faithless under all circumstances, and it endures everything without weakening. Love never fails, never fades out or becomes obsolete or comes to an end. As for prophecy, the gift of interpreting the divine will and purpose, it will be fulfilled and pass away. As for tongues, they will be destroyed and cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For our knowledge is fragmentary, incomplete and imperfect, and our prophecy is fragmentary, incomplete and imperfect. But when the complete and perfect comes, the incomplete and perfect will vanish away. Amen. Amen. There's one message from John in foster home, and he says, even in relationships where you are sure of the person's love and how you feel about them, your partner, would you be lying? I think we'll take this one lastly before we leave. And then he also says that he loves Angie's voice, by the way. I think I know this, John, but oh dear. So yes, just to comment on it.
I
Just-
don't
okay.
think that
All, because all those reasons become conditions, and those conditions become expectations. If the expectation is not met, then it will create disappointment and division. That's why people often experience heartache, because of those terms, conditions, and expectations. The Bible never tells us why God loves us. Enjoy your marriage.
You're listening to Voice of Victory Radio.
Machonyegbe, Aji, Machonyeji, for my way, Mapokokwe, yes, for my way, Mapokokwe.
Hey, listen, I call my brother for phone. Actually, see, we dey alive, we still dey breathe. That's what the way I believe. See, God don't go shame us. The place you go loud, you can worry the neighbors. God, this one no be bobo. I know they talk waiting, I don't know. When the time go reach for you to collect your bread, you go collect the jumbo. Hey, you don't the way you don't take for the blessing, so when I do so, I know one you do. Hey, somebody won't carry my picture, go babalawo, I tell her the way first. Send that picture where you want is no fine, make her send them the one, we could make sense. Because God no go shame us, God no go shame us, God no go shame us, God no go shame us. The blessing go loud, you go worry the neighbors. Okay.